Are you wondering how to have financial peace in your business? Focus on your sales and marketing, the coaches all say, but we also know that coaches talk a lot of So what the do I think about this? Let's find out.
That's how it's done.
I'm Amy Walker, and I help you create consistent, predictable sales in your business through organic marketing and scalable sales strategies. And I get where this question comes from. You're an entrepreneur who's probably tired of the ups and downs. You're probably tired of the feast and famine, and you just want stability. You just want to know that you've got money and there's consistent flow coming through and it doesn't feel quite so stressful. And there are so many business coaches and consultants out there just talking about increasing business growth, get more clients, sell more, get more leads, raise your prices, do a high ticket offer. And it's really easy to feel like that could be the answer to financial peace. I am guilty of this too, but the reality is it's just not true. You can't sell and market your way into financial peace. You actually have to have a financial plan in place in order to have financial peace. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through that process of how you can take your business, no matter where sales are at, and create a solid financial plan that is going to give you that consistency and that peace that you need in order to know everything is covered.
Oh, okay.
So today I'm going to give you 10 things that you need to do in order to create financial peace. And number 10 is going to make it so that even if you had to stop working because you got injured or sick, your business would actually still be able to pay you consistently. So make sure you stay all the way until the end. The first tip to having financial peace is to stop thinking like an employee and to start thinking like a business owner. When you're an employee, you get a paycheck and then you spend your paycheck, you save some, and then more money comes in and you spend and you save. But the things that you spend on, unless you're investing, they're not really making you more money. And a lot of times when we come into business ownership, we keep our employee mindset and then we start making spending decisions like we would have if it was our personal finances. And this is going to take us down some wrong paths. Things like looking for the cheapest option instead of looking for the option that gives you the highest ROI. Or things like saying, well, it's all business expenses, I'll write it off on my taxes, and then you're overspending because it seems like a viable business expense. You really want to start thinking in terms of return on investment. You want to be pricing things so that there's profit built into every time you create a sale, a certain percentage is going to be going away to profit. You want to be pricing things so that you can pay for labor. You're not free labor. As business owners, sometimes we price it as though we're free labor and then we can never afford to hire anyone else to help. So the very first thing you've got to do is take off your employee hat, take off your personal finance hat, and really step into that role of thinking like a small business owner. And it just is going to be different.
So creative.
My second tip is to go get the book Profit First by Mike Michalowicz and actually start implementing this strategy. What most of us do in business is we have the money come in and then we pay all of our expenses and then we pay our taxes. And then if there's money left, we pay ourselves our owner's draw. And then if there's any money left, then we had some profits. Mike is going to teach you to flip this, where the very first thing that you do is you take out your profit and you put it into a profit account. Then you're going to take your owner's draw, then you're going to pay your taxes. Then with whatever is left, that's what you get to spend on your operational expenses. So you're actually creating a budget for your business that is focusing on profits, you getting paid, taxes getting paid, and then you're minimizing your expenses to fit into what you can actually afford to spend. It's a hard transition to make, but once you make it, you will forever know that you're going to get paid and you're going to have money in the bank.
Nice.
My third tip is to actually pay yourself every single month. Set yourself up on payroll. Now, depending on your tax structure, if you're a corporation or if you're an LLC filing as a corporation, you get to pay yourself in two ways. One is your actual salary and one is your owner's draw. There are a lot of benefits for keeping your owner's salary to be smaller and paying yourself with more with the owner's draw. Obviously, you need to talk to your accountant with that and make sure you're doing that correctly and legally. However, I will say you need to actually set it up so you get paid on a regular basis. If you miss that consistency of having a paycheck every 2 weeks, that is simply a sign that you haven't set your business up correctly and you're just kind of pulling money as needed, or you're not paying yourself at all. You need to be paying yourself consistently and regularly every single month.
It is, right?
Number 3, we've got to control our expenses. One of the biggest places people overspend is in their subscriptions, because they sign up for a service that does 3 things and they only use one, and then they sign up for another service and they use one of its features, and pretty soon they have like duplication where they've got 2 different programs that fulfill the same function, but they're only using pieces of each. And so your subscriptions are probably adding up, and that's one of the first places that I would go to look for extra cash. The other thing that can be a big area of savings is re-looking at how you're hiring and your team expenses. So if you have watched any of our videos on how to hire your dream team, you'll know that you can save quite a bit of money by outsourcing parts of the work into countries like the Philippines and just getting really efficient with the way that you run your team. So you do need to have somebody that is in charge of controlling expenses and saying, no, that's not in the budget right now. A business license is not a license to spend.
Are you serious?
Tip number 5 is to work on your money mindset. If you approach business with the money mindset of personal finances, you're going to struggle to really excel in this space. When we buy something for our personal finances, like a car or a couch or even just groceries, all of those things are going to decrease in value from the moment that we purchase them. So us being kind of tight-fisted spenders in our personal life is sometimes a really good strategy for being able to save money. But in our business life, that isn't the case. We should be spending money on things that are going to have a positive ROI. Now, I'm not saying everything that I spend on has a positive ROI, but I try not to spend on very many things that are just costing me and they're not allowing me to make more money. So for example, if I'm going to buy a system, is that system going to allow me to be able to sell more than I can sell on my own? I'll also do the cost comparison of, would it make more sense financially to have a person that does this or to have a system and automation that does this? And then based on which one is going to be most profitable with the volume that we need, then we make that decision. I also have found that scarcity, when we get into that scarcity thinking of there's not going to be enough, we won't be able to afford it, how do I know that there's cash coming in again? That is a very, very bad place to make business decisions from. So you need to constantly be working on your money mindset. Whenever I feel like we've stagnated or we've plateaued, that to me is a sign that it's time for me to work on my mindset, because whenever my mindset increases, the income will then increase to match where I'm thinking. You cannot out-earn your current level of mindset.
Probably.
Number 6, get funding. I really prided myself when I was new in business on bootstrapping my business, on paying for everything as we went. Like our whole business was funded based on the sales that we generated. And I look at that now and I think, that was a really good strategy to build a 6-figure business. It was actually a really bad strategy to build a 7-figure and beyond business. One of the 6 reasons why businesses fail is because they are underfunded. And you do need different rounds of funding in order to be able to establish growth. So if you're really just looking to build a 6-figure business, you probably could bootstrap. But if you're looking to build a bigger company, you are going to need to infuse cash in order to be able to create growth. With funding, what I see a lot of business owners do is they bring in funding when they actually have a lot of problems as like a way to plug holes in a sinking ship. That's a bad time to bring in funding. You want to bring in funding during a time where you have a plan for growth, things are working well, and now you're trying to expand that. And so it's not a last-ditch effort to save something that's a problem. It's something that we want to bring on funding earlier in the process so that we're not trying to fix all the problems we made because we didn't have money and we were making bad decisions, but instead we're coming up with a really good plan and we're bringing in funding in order to help pay for that. Now, how are you going to get funding? You can raise capital through investments. You can apply for business loans. You can use your personal credit score in order to secure credit for your business. Especially as a new business owner, that tends to be the type of funding that is most easily accessible. But I don't want you to look at funding as we look at our personal debt. I was speaking with someone recently who has a business that has the ability, with just a few simple changes in it, it really does have the ability to generate multiple 7 figures a year. Like, she's sitting on a huge pile of cash. And the thing that is keeping it at like $500,000 a year is because she's afraid to get funding to grow to the next level. I would not recommend that being a good business decision. She has a proven model. She's shown that she can bring in multiple 6-figure deals, but she doesn't have the processes and the systems to get very many of them. So making an investment at that point really makes sense because she's already got a proven model. So don't be afraid of bringing on business funding, of bringing on debt. You really will need it at certain points in your growth journey.
Things are going very well.
If these tips are helpful and you want more content like this, make sure that you like the video and then subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so you can get notified every time we release new content. Strategy number 7, build personal savings for lean times. Business can be cyclical. Your business might have months of the year that tend to be slow. You might have seasons that are really amazing and others that don't bring in a lot of revenue. And your personal savings is what's going to give you that nest egg to make sure that you always feel like you're stable and secure.
I know, right?
Number 9 is work on sales and marketing so that you can create more consistent, predictable sales. I totally believe in that. Obviously, that is the main thing that I help my clients do. It's so valuable and worthwhile. It's just not the only thing you need to create financial stability. But one thing that I see with a lot of entrepreneurs is that they have very unpredictable lead flow, and that is what leads to unpredictable sales. So I tell all of my clients, first of all, we have to know how many leads you need to hit your sales goal every month. And then once we know that number, we have to make sure we bring in that number every single month. That becomes the thing that we work on over and over and over again. So if you need some help in that, I would love for you to download my Ultimate Marketing Calendar. This tool is going to tell you how many leads you need to hit your sales goal, help you track it, and track the ROI on the different marketing opportunities that you're doing. Tip number 10, I promised you that I would show you how you can continue to pay yourself even if you need to take time out of the business and not be proactively working. And it is to create an investment account with your profit money. So if you're following Mike Michalowicz's Profit First model, you're taking profits out and you're setting them aside in a profit account. Then you want to set up an investment account under the business's name so that the business's profits are making money and you can pay yourself out of the business's profits if you ever hit a season where you need to not work because you have a death in the family or because you are sick or get injured. I hope this has been helpful talking about how to have financial peace in your business. Now, if you want to move into the next phase of how do I create consistent, predictable sales, I recommend that you go watch the video, How to Have Consistent 10K Months. I'll see you over there.